Did you ever wonder how a Lego build could look in Planet Zoo? Well, you're gonna find out today how this Lego build is going to look in Planet Zoo. If you are interested in the final result, stick with me and let's go. Now, today we are going to build the Paradisa Ranch, or Paradisa Ranch, I have no idea how that's called in English, from Lego in Planet Zoo. Now, this is a very special build for several reasons. Now, let's start with the first reason, and that is mainly that this very Lego set, which I do own myself, has a very special place in my heart. Now, I've been obsessed with Lego in my youth. I've been so obsessed that I think between my 5th and my maybe even 14th birthday, I legit didn't want to have anything else than Lego. And so my parents and family and everyone else just kind of followed that rule, and I have a tremendous amount of Lego sets at home. But this very set over here hasn't been any of those presents. This set has been a present of one of my nannies. Actually, the only nanny I ever had when I was, I think, 6-7 years old, together with my brother, who was at the time, he's 4 years younger, so you can calculate yourself. I'm stupid, I can't. So yeah, that's been the case, and she's been there with us a couple of times, and she basically, the contact came from the horse riding stable that my mom used to go to, and there was a little girl who basically had a kind of, you know, horse riding apprenticeship there, or whatever she did, I don't know. I guess she was like 15, 16, 17 at that age, or maybe 18, I don't know, I can't really remember too much, but she knew that I was obsessed with Lego, and she needed to play with me all the Lego all the day. But since I've been a boy at that time, she needed to play like with me and build like a stadium and a racetrack and whatever. And she was like very selfish, but in a very positive way. And she brought that set with her so that we can finally build something that she's interested in. Fair enough, this is one of the most rare sets nowadays. It is kind of available. I have some way more expensive sets that are way more seldom, but this set is still one of those that hasn't been purchased that often or sold that often during these times, which I guess was because the marketing still targeted boys a lot more than girls. I guess nowadays that changed, also due to a couple of IPs that Lego owns by the time. But yeah, so it has been on my schedule to build a Lego inspired build for a long time, but I never really found the right moment to do so. Like, there were still a couple of ideas I had, because I still like the Lego charm. I also am a big fan of some of the Lego computer games, even over the original games of a series. I think one of the best examples is Harry Potter. I think, with a couple of exceptions, the Lego Harry Potter games are by far better than the original Harry Potter games. That said, I'm also totally obsessed with the Lego Journey, a brilliant game as well, and I just love the aesthetic of Lego. I just love how much you can, you know, dive into the origin of what kind of fantasy can do and imagination can do. And I think part of why I love playing these games so much is obviously my obsession with Lego, because it is basically digital Lego in a way. And yeah, I just kind of loved the wonderful trip down memory lane here. So maybe if you guys have played that, what is one of the sets that you owned and you basically have a very nice memory of? So please tell me in the comments down below what's your favorite Lego set you ever had. It doesn't have to be like the best set or the most expensive set. It has to be the most emotional set that you are emotionally connected with. I really would love to know that. I think that's Lego is kind of another really weird but wonderful passion that a lot of people can relate to each other. So yeah, just drop them down in the comments down below. But anyways, I think at this point there is like a perfect match with the Przewalski horse over here, simply because I wanted to give them a very specific and a very special build. Like, I mean, it was kind of obvious that a lot of people will build some stables now, and I thought, you know, why not do something special and build the Paradisa Ranch? I do know that Paradisa has been one kind of a series of sets of Lego, which was the kind of the Paradisa brand was always like this kind of tropical vibe, kind of 80s, 90s Miami, I guess it was inspired by, and obviously also targeted a little bit more towards girls, a lot more pink influence, kind of all these nude colors and stuff. And I think it's kind of a very interesting aesthetics, as you've seen in the picture at the beginning. And I wanted to not build this one by one in this game. I wanted to translate this look and this feel and this vibe into an actual Planet Zoo build rather than a one-on-one copy, even though obviously you could have done the one-on-one copy because the game grants you with the pieces, so I could have just easily used all the basic shapes and kind of recreated Lego. I've seen people doing that and it looks fairly fantastic, but I just wanted to do something else here, and so I went with the idea of converting the Lego vibe into an actual Planet Zoo vibe. Oh my god, the German. That said, it's not 100% finished. I'm still going to upload this as a blueprint for you. You can download this right away. It's going to be in the comments, the link, and if I remember also, I'm going to put this into the description. And you can make this your very own wonderful build. I'm very keen to see what you guys do with it, because there are a couple of things I haven't done, so you can build upon that, just time reasons, and I'll be very open with you. Now, these couple builds I have done in the past days, unfortunately, haven't been at the level of detail I wanted them to be, due to the fact that I had to make up the time that I lost due to my computer issues. Good news though is, computer's working again for the moment. I'm still in some plannings to improve the overall situation and prevent this situation from happening ever again. I have some ideas how to do so, but since these ideas are down to a fact, and that is money, so I have to see what I can do with it. But there's also some other news I can't speak about quite yet, but I will be able to talk about, I guess, after my holidays. Gonna be very exciting news, but I can't really talk too much about it at this point. And yeah, so this is the reason why I needed to be a bit quicker in these builds. But there's another specific reason why this build isn't as detailed, because we have built that on stream. Now, that it doesn't mean that I can't build more detailed, but the stream has been wonderful, and I love talking to you guys so much that obviously this took a little bit of my concentration, which is good, because that means I actually read what people were saying in the chat most of the times, not all of the times, most probably not all of the times. But yeah, we've had our live stream again, and that was a very nice live stream. It has been a pleasure to be back with you guys on Twitch. I'm very thankful to all of you who've been there, all of the support, many of the people who followed afterwards and before, and also thank you to those who couldn't make it but dropped some messages. So that was really lovely. I can't promise to do another stream before my holidays, but I can promise that I also agreed with my wife on a new schedule, and I'll be back after my summer holidays with regular streaming on Twitch once a week. Most likely it's going to be Hump Day, which is Wednesday, and if not, I'm going to rearrange that with the other days, and I'm going to try to do this like 2 to 3 hours ish. It's not much, but it's honest work, you know. But no, that's the idea. So for all of you who have subbed and want to follow over there, it's not for nothing. I'll be back, and it's gonna be something, and we are going to basically build, most likely in a new series, or maybe not in a new series, but we are going to continue with the realistic habitats. I guess that's the new streaming park, simply because Yosemite is just not the right zoo to make streams on anymore, which is down to the performance. Most of the parks obviously still run very fine with streaming, but since Yosemite is already on the edge with the normal system and turning off everything else, and then having a stream, recording, music, all the chatbots, functions, my Lumia light control, all these things together don't really help in having a better performance in that park. So I guess we will not see each other again in the live stream in Yosemite unless I'm gonna get an even more powerful computer in the future. So yeah, Yosemite is becoming the new Koali in terms of performance test, stress test. But I'm still trying to build an Amur leopard habitat in Yosemite at this point in time. While we're speaking, I will build this, and I'm not sure when this is going to be finished. Maybe I'm going to kick that further into the future, but for the moment being, that is what I can offer. Now, it's been 84 years. Sorry, no. I had that meme in my mind right now from Titanic. Yeah, but as you can see, the build unfolds, and there were a couple of little things I needed to solve as like challenges, because this Paradisa Ranch has a very specific roof pattern, which I'm not quite sure what exactly it should be. I think it's kind of sandstone or maybe brushed sandstone. I'm not really sure what it is, but I think with this rough stone or rustic stone over here, this really mimics the kind of texture that they have quite well, and I'm very happy with how it turns out, and I'm actually very happy about the build. It really looks good. It looks pretty flat. I could have done this a little bit more high, but as you know, with the sizes in Planet Zoo, I didn't want to go overboard, so I made it exactly the height I needed to do it so that the horses can still traverse through there. Now, that said, yeah, it's just another animal that has a ridiculously crazy demand of hitboxes. Now, I think at this point, I don't even need to mention that anymore, that especially when it comes to gates and to open spaces where animals can pass through, they are always like 50 to 60 to 70% bigger than they would be in real life. So whenever you try to build something realistic, at least with the openings and kind of the gates and stuff, you will fail to do so because simply the animals won't fit through. That's the demand of the game, and it's totally fine. There will be a video in the future where we will talk about that again. It's taking me way longer than I expected, and so I'm actually not trying to do that for the holiday season because I just can't deliver that, but I will definitely deliver this video. I just like to delve into the, the technical side of things, which is explaining quite a bit why we have certain issues in the game and why these issues are basically not really a thing that can be overcome easily. But it's not really that big of an issue once you get around it and you have an idea how to solve that issue, especially certain things like climbing frames and stuff. You can get around with it pretty well. So I'm positive that this is going to be something in the future we are going to talk about, and hopefully in the very far future we don't even need to talk about anymore. By the way, potatoes make some very good potatoes, and I meant basically poop of the horses. It just, I wanted to make this little thing. These are not, supposed to be potatoes. This is supposed to be a little bit of, stuff they just did put away, whatever. Now, one thing I wanted to do as well is the little carriage, or the little cart in which they do transport the horses as well. So that's kind of a little gimmick I built over here. I think it just worked out quite well. I was a bit confused that it did work out so well because I just built it straightforward. I had an idea in mind and just did build this. Even though I'm missing out on a couple of specific pieces, and I'm quite sure they are in the game, but I just couldn't find them. So the basis of this thing is a tad bit too thick because I used these simple arch shapes, as you can see over here. However, I believe there are some thinner pieces. I could have used plaster, but I didn't want to use plaster. But I was awfully confused that all the wall pieces are that thick. So I know that there was a certain sign that you can completely recolor, but then again the texture didn't look right, and so I went with with some wooden pieces, which unfortunately is not looking exactly the way I wanted it to look, but it looks good enough. So at this point, I was really going for the looks of it for the moment. And yeah, there has to be a piece, but I just couldn't find that piece, which is a bit unfortunate. But this thing itself still looks pretty cool, this little caravan kind of thing. And yeah, size-wise, it is also somewhat the size that you would have for like a cart like this. Obviously, the Przewalski horse is a wild horse, so you wouldn't take them in. But the idea of the ranch, as I showed at the beginning, is a normal horse ranch, and I just wanted to kind of use that vibe. So just take that with a little pinch or like grain of salt that this is just for the looks of it, and these horses will never be taken into that one. It's just there for whatever reason, or maybe some other horses are going to be brought here, and then they need this. Maybe they're going to secure some of the Przewalski horses, and that is the thing that brings them back to this ranch to make them live very nice and so on. Just seeing the positives in here, seeing the positives. Yeah, but we're nearly at the end of a fairly long speed build, which goes down to the fact that I'm not that fast during the live stream in building, and I didn't want to speed it up that crazily because you guys gave me a good feedback that these slower speed builds are a lot more enjoyable enjoyable for you. So I will stick to that. This is again 8 times sped up, which seems to be the maximum for most people, and so I'll stick with this. But I thought it was worth really keeping it all in because the story is nice and, you know, the build is nice, so I thought that was good. But nevertheless, we are going to have a very, very short real-time part now. So yeah, let's jump over and have a look how it looks in-game. Hello, here we are now in the real-time part, and this is the wonderful ranch. Look at that, this is the Paradisa Ranch, as you can see that over here. Yeah, we've got a couple of stables, we've got this wonderful... what is happening? Can I just... No, I can't. Why am I going up and down? I don't know what that is. But yeah, as you can see, this is the ranch. I think, you know, the details and stuff are really nice. We've got that wagon over here. We've got a lovely little field of greens and stuff. Yeah, I just love that. The buckets over here where they can eat out of, and yeah, we can just move into the stable if we want. It's all fairly open, you know. As I said, it's not really done. A couple of little details are added here and there. As you can see, this looks fairly similar, so yeah, that works. You know, something to sit down here for the people coming here. A couple of little things here and there, just something with the water. Again, as I said, I would have loved to add even more details. This is the area where I can clean off the horses. I love that as a kid when we've been to our horse stable. But I've done quite a bit of horse riding in the past, so we even owned a horse 2 times, and the first one while I was a kid really was my best friend. I even slept together with the horse in its stable. That's how close we were. I sneaked in there. It wasn't really allowed, but whenever we've been there to a party or so, and me as a like 5-6-year-old, I just sneaked away and then into the stables and, you know, just chilled down next to the horse and chilled, because even in winter times that was really cozy. But yeah, that was insane. I was allowed to do everything. This horse also just loved me. It was called Prince, like the German word for prince was the name. So yeah, that's our friend. Yeah, this is the ranch. I'm zooming out real quick here out of the explore cam, so you can see that from above. I'm a big fan of this build. I think I managed to translate the feel of the vibe into this build. I changed a couple of little things to make it a bit more aligned with this area. Look at that horse running out of here. It's a happy one. Yeah, so that's it. I really hope you guys are going to enjoy this build. I'm going to upload this as promised, and then yeah, enjoy that. I hope you guys have a good day. So in case you have a good day and you love this build, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I want to really build upon that now on my channel. And also, if you want to become a member, you will gain access to even more builds that I will upload in the next coming weeks, which is pretty cool. And so, yeah, if you want to, you can become a member easily for 99 cents. And then there's going to be all my save files available for you. We're going to have a wonderful giveaway in the next couple days, which is not for the members only. It's going to be for everyone, so don't worry about that. So yeah, lots of things going on for the summer break. I'm preparing a lot, guys. You will have some good 3 weeks, and I will have some good 3 weeks. Anyhow, have a good time. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.